Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. Excuse me, and I continue with Invisible War Blind, also known as Crashes Blind.
Don't forget to come see me at the Oda Church, Alex. That landing pad is run by a local smuggler, Sophia Sak. Looks like they've seized the Black's Harrier, probably as payment for phony debts. It never hurts to have a pilot who owes you a favor. You could pay the debt or, better, eliminate Sak and her henchmen for the good of the whole neighborhood.
Okay, she actually seems to be some kind of a crime lord, so... that may not even exactly be that bad of a deed. I'm still not sure what's up with the purity tagline. Is it supposed to be a slogan for something, or...?
State your business.
Just going for a walk.
You scoping the place? Working for Sid Black, maybe?
I've seen him around.
He owes Miss Sak some money. We're keeping his jet until he pays up. Last thing we need is some stranger casing the landing pad.
Can I talk to Miss Sak?
What for?
Maybe I can settle things on Mr. Black's behalf.
You better not be feeding me a line.
You wouldn't fall for something like that.
I guess you're right. Through this door, take the hallway to the elevator at the other end. It's busted, so you'll have to climb the ladder in the shaft to the top floor. Miss Sak's office is up there. And remember, stay off the landing pad.
Got it.
Miss Sak's in the office by the landing pad, so that she can keep an eye on her property.
Okay, so I guess...
You better not be pulling my leg.
I guess he said, stay off the landing pad, so I'm not supposed to open this gate. At least, not yet.
If you want to talk to Miss Sak, fine, but no snooping around.
To be honest, I am again kind of confused, because he's an SSC guard, and yet he's openly working for what amounts to a crime boss, so I'm not sure
I'm here to make sure you deal straight with Miss Sak.
if the SSC is like a mercenary group. I was under the impression that it's a... I don't know, something akin to a police force or something, but...
Whoa, hey, this is my apartment.
I guess I took a wrong turn somewhere.
Who sent you? It was that Pequod's jerk, wasn't it? He isn't satisfied that he already has the zoning lockdown for all of Upper Seattle and can keep me out. He has to play like a mafia don and send people to harass me. Well, I won't be intimidated, I won't!
I didn't come here looking for a fight.
If he wants to peddle his overpriced peculinos down here, let him. But I deserve a shot at those babyface executives uptown. What I need is a hacker. Someone to break into the Civic manager's computer at the WTO terminal and approve my zoning petition. Business is good down here. I've got money and I want to expand.
Sounds like a risky operation, but I take it you can afford to hire a few thugs of your own.
Well, I'd make it worth a certain someone's while, that's for sure. Why do you ask? Know anything about government databases?
Maybe I'll check back with you later tonight.
My shop's closed right now. Not a lot of late-night drinkers in this part of town.
To be honest, out of the two propositions, if I were to do any of those, I would rather side with this guy, because he only wants a fair shot at running his business, and the other guy is just harassing him. Can I watch some TV, or...? But then again, breaking into a government database is sort of a rough deal. Okay, he also has this book on the history of coffee, and much like the other guy, it seems they are kind of obsessed with it. Oh man, that's the essay, the famous essay by John Stuart Mill on liberty, with this part. I think no, it's not the most famous part, considering the no harm principle. So I don't remember this part. I only read the essay a long time ago, and I was more focused on the harm principle because it was most relevant to my thesis. But I guess what Mill is advocating here is basically the decentralization of power. Like, he's saying it should be the local officers, as in the local governments, should have the greatest possible freedom within the boundaries of the law. So I guess you could also, I doubt it was placed in this game in particular as an accident. It's pretty sure to be, some kind of a commentary as well on the state of the world in the Deus Ex series, and probably also okay, that's kind of weird. He has this poster on the ceiling, so he's lying down, and not really sure what he's doing, but I guess I can make a few educated...
I really like to tap into the overachiever market. They're the ones that get hooked on the stuff.
A few educated guesses. Is that Sak's apartment? He was talking about how the elevator is broken. Okay, that leads to a
landing pad is
helipad,
off limits.
which I'm not supposed to visit.
Go on about your business.
Okay, already read that.
Hey, I was talking to you.
Ah, okay, that's her office.
Leave.
I guess this is like a guard's quarters.
Unless Sid Black sent you to pay his debt, or you want to bring me his head, you'd better let one of my security guards escort you out.
What do I get if I bring you his head?
That was a joke. I already have his jet. I don't have any use for a half-pound of his flesh. Did you have some business to discuss? I need a pilot, but until Sid settles his debt, I can't let him handle product for the Omar.
Wish I could help.
To be honest, I'm kind of torn about this whole situation again, because, and it ties to a sort of greater issue in video games in general, because it's that there is often very limited information you have about your quest objectives, and you're supposed to sort of what's the word? Suspend your disbelief about a lot of things. For example, I've heard exactly once, for now, that this woman is a crime boss of some sort, and it might well be true, but in real life you would, want to diversify your source of information. You wouldn't go, oh, I've heard from one person that this person is bad, therefore it gives me the right to beat this person senseless. But in games, you often don't have that. You just have, one person saying one thing, the other person saying the other thing, and you have to decide. So I am kind of unsure about what to do here.
The landing pad is off limits.
I'm not sure if this is legal for me to be in. I guess it's just the other way around.
Hey, I was talking to you.
I think I'll leave her be for now, and go talk with the church. I mean the order at the church, and then if I wait, what's the? I wasn't here before, right? A bottle of wine. And maybe I'll learn some more information. So, does this lead to the sewers or something? Oh wait. Somebody lost another multi-tool. Well, here's to hoping it's not going to crash. And of course, as is tradition at this point, the game crashed again. Now, I've been informed that apparently setting it to run in compatibility mode with an older operating system might help, so I've done that. We'll see how long it will avail me, if at all. Yeah, it's just the alternate exit.
Lived here my whole life. I know this town better than anyone.
So let's go to the church finally.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Unfortunately, it requires me to pass another loading screen. Yeah, so unfortunately, clearly the compatibility advice didn't do me much good. It wouldn't be that annoying if the maps weren't so small. So, due to their relatively small size, the amount of loading screens is quite high.
WTO Chairman Dumier is irredeemable. He has led too many down the path of greed and disorder.
In time, we will open their eyes.
We are so fortunate that Her Holiness found us before Dumier could invade our spirits with such ruthless and selfish competition.
Each of them knows in his or her heart that something is still missing. True order, and soon they will begin to seek it, and we will be there to help them.
Yes, we will share with them the compassion and peace Her Holiness has shown us.
Welcome to the Order Sanctuary for this city, Alex D. We've been expecting you.
Wasn't exactly easy getting here.
We appreciate your dedication.
I did what I had to.
Please step inside. Join us for meditation. Her Holiness awaits your presence.
Oh wow! So apparently I am going to talk straight with their leader.
Welcome, my friend.
This is our haven from the madness and greed the WTO tries to spread. Her Holiness inspires us all to reject the materialistic, profit-driven attitudes propagated by the WTO.
That's interesting because the subtitles actually said something different. The subtitles were all about utilitarian values and
look at that. Almost
utilitarianism, which on the side note is actually the philosophy that John Stuart Mill espoused, which the game quoted in one of the books. Utilitarianism.
You owe this search for true order not only to yourself but also to your fellow humans. There is a Fard al-Kafaya of collective duty. You are bound to search and bring the search to others so that all may reach deeper understandings and peace.
Utilitarianism is decidedly
You must
unselfish
strive with your
because
meditations to become a pandita. Our Hindu brothers originated this goal, that of becoming one who is liberated or self-aware. Through this inward reflection,
You seek solace from your everyday troubles.
because utilitarianism basically runs on the principle of utility, which is the maximization of human happiness, which is understood collectively. So not your happiness in particular, and not even the happiness of your family, but the happiness of mankind. So, for example, in strictly utilitarian terms, if one person has to suffer so that 1,000 people can be happy, then the action is morally justified, because the overall balance of utility, as it were, is positive. It's the reason I myself dislike utilitarianism as a moral philosophy, because it's very, to me, it's very almost unhuman in its calculus. It treats human lives and everything humans do as a sort of mathematical transaction in which you calculate the amount of utility to be gained or lost by every action, and let that guide your decisions. Now, for me, that is an unacceptable method, because it could very much lead to a lot of atrocities for particular people in the name of the overall happiness of mankind. For example, I don't know, on the grounds of utilitarianism, you could very much justify and even encourage sacrificing people's actual lives if it were to improve more lives than there were lost. So it's I
think it's time to wash this
it's
robe.
indefensible in the long run for me, because it really leads you into this slippery slope situation. But on the other hand, you have to appreciate, at least I do appreciate, even though I don't agree, but I do appreciate that utilitarists and John Stuart Mill in particular, who wasn't actually the creator of utilitarianism, but that would be Jeremy Bentham. But Jeremy, I know his surname was Bentham, but I'm not quite sure. I think it was Jeremy Bentham. Anyway, that was the creator of the core principles of utilitarianism, but John Stuart Mill sort of refined them, and he created the most well-known branch of utilitarianism. And I do appreciate that at the very least they tried to make morality objective in the same way that maths is objective. So in the it's more about numbers, and it's easier to sort of calculate, and it's pretty easy to reason your actions and to justify your actions via utilitarian means, because they are instinctively understandable. When you say something like it's good to sacrifice one person to save 100 people, then I might not agree, but at the very least I see it's immediately obvious to me what your reasoning is. It's not that you think that because of some lofty ideological something. It's just a question of numbers.
Unlocking your sabr can also help you achieve greater order. As the Muslims before you who revere this attribute, you must be steadfast and you must be patient. Sometimes the search will be difficult. Obstacles within yourself and people who do not understand may stand in your way. Self-discipline and faith will keep you on the path. Alex D. of Tarsus Academy, you are alive.
You always speak the truth, Your Holiness.
Have faith. The Order Church condemns the illegal biomodification experiments performed on you and the other trainees.
Biomods are part of the training. We knew what they do to our tissues.
Your biomod architecture is no piezochem clone. The trainee's DNA has been completely rewritten. We are certain the one called Leo would have been ineligible for biomodification without extensive gene replacement.
Sounds like typical R&D, an innovation that would expand the biomod market.
The technology's uses exceed what you might expect. It could standardize the human organism, make all ability and talent into software modules, radically disrupt the social order.
You think there's a political agenda behind my biomods?
Yes, we have rescued you so that you can help us identify and defeat your creators. Please listen to my High Augur, Lin Mei Chen. She will contact you at the holocom in the other room. My Seekers, you must activate your Kundalini, or your spiritual energy. As you purify your spirit in your search for true order, it will ascend from one spiritual center, or chakra, in your bodies to another. As it reaches your higher chakras, you will gain new insights, bringing your lives into deeper order. You must strive with your meditations to become a Pandita. Our Hindu brothers originated
already
this
heard
goal,
that.
of becoming one who is
Now,
liberated of self-awareness.
it's quite interesting to me.
You can liberate yourself from chaos and disorder.
I'm here. You said you had more to say about the raid on Tarsus. What went wrong?
We're still investigating. I haven't heard from Captain Lamar since he disobeyed my orders.
Why should I join a group which is at war with itself?
Unifying the world's religions is a difficult enterprise. What we must do, and I ask your help in this, is determine what happened to Captain Lamar so that we can assess the operation. Just as you arrived, I got a report that he had abandoned his unit. Incidentally, my agents have been following your activities in Upper Seattle. We will talk about Mako Ballistics when you return.
One of your own captains? AWOL?
He was seen with a gang of local thugs linked to the Knights Templar. He did a little moonlighting after the Tarsus raid by coordinating a prison break.
Busy man.
He's pinned down in the Inclinator right now, negotiating with the authorities for safe passage out of Seattle. I want you to infiltrate the facility and learn what you can about this betrayal. Then perhaps we'll be closer to understanding his actions at Tarsus Academy.
What's the connection to the Knights Templar?
Unclear. One of their commanders was facing trial, and I guess Templar extremism appealed to some of our seekers. The church seems to be losing ground in disadvantaged neighborhoods, where the poor are quick to join any cause that makes them feel powerful.
Okay, I definitely want to talk about what was said, because it's pretty interesting, but I want to stand out of the way of the sermons of Her Holiness, because they're interrupting me. Yeah, so I found it very curious that her speeches incorporate a lot of mystical and religious terms from different religions of the world. Like, she was talking about Buddhist terms, a couple of Muslim terms, and she also name dropped Muslims in particular, like directly. And I was kind of curious, what are the actual religious beliefs of the order? But then the augur we just talked to, which incidentally, as I already mentioned, is a Roman, is a Latin name for a divination priest, a sort of foreseer of the future, a reader of omens. But she said that they are unifying all of the world's religions into one, so it's sort of a ecumenical effort to create this super religion that encompasses all of the religions of the world. At least that's the way I understand it. And if so, then it very much makes sense to borrow all of those elements from the various religions to make the adherents of those religions more eager to convert and more at home with the new beliefs. It's actually something that has been done all the time throughout history with real world religions. For example, Christianity itself has co-opted, as it were, a lot of pagan holidays, and whenever there was a holiday, a pagan celebration on a given day, they would, for example, assign a saint to that day and make it so that from that day onward it would be celebrated as a saint's day or something. But it made it easier for the pagan populace to sort of transfer to the new religion, because truth be told, to many people, perhaps even now, but especially like in antiquity and later Middle Ages, when most of the people were illiterate and didn't really understand a lot of the theological debate of Christianity, it didn't really matter what was the name of the holiday. They just remembered that, this is a day of celebration, and it didn't really matter if it's to honor a pagan goddess or a Christian god. What mattered is that there was an opportunity to make some good food, to be merry, to celebrate something. So that may be what the Order is doing as well. But I guess I'm going to
you must activate your Kundalini, or your spiritual energy. As you purify your spirit in your search for true order, it will ascend from one spirit to
I guess I'm going to learn more about that later. Okay, this definitely seems unsafe. It's but the bots are actually downstairs, so I wonder if they can... Okay, I'm not going to trespass here, at least not for now,
You owe
because...
this search for true order, not only to yourself, but also to your fellow humans.
Because it might antagonize the Order, and I wouldn't want to do that at the moment, because I haven't figured out on which sort of side I want to find myself in the end, so... Let's save. Of course, another loading screen, another crash. As is tradition at this point. I suppose until the end of the game, it's probably going to go into hundreds total, I mean. Which isn't really an encouraging vision.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Oh, a crowbar. Well, I don't particularly need it, or even want it, because it's going to be obviously lethal in combat with human opponents, and for breaking crates and stuff, we can just use the baton. So, I think I'm going to...
Careful walking around here at night.
Lived here my whole life. I know this town better than anyone.
I'm going to solve the business at the Inclinator with the rogue general. I'm considering doing that because the discount with the Omar might be very useful, and I would very much like to get my hands on this biomode canister, because it's pretty much the only way you can advance your character in this game, which incidentally I am not a fan of at all. I think it was a big mistake to eliminate skills. And I hope they return in future games. But for now, let's find out what's going on with the Order's captain. Unfortunately, that requires me to brave another loading screen. Same old, same old. Maybe it even, like, right now I'm wondering, maybe it even works once for each run of the game, and then the game crashes and I have to restart, and then it works once and then it crashes. Maybe that's the pattern. I'm not sure, I haven't paid attention to if I ever...
We better move on then. Oh my!
Oh damn it. If I ever...
Some scab thing. Ain't nothing. I felt that one.
I'm not sure if I ever got two cases of it working one after the other. Okay, I think I can dismiss the drone unless it has disappeared on its own, with me having lost my unconscious. Okay, so at the very least they aren't dead. Okay. Actually, I don't think I've ever been down there, which makes me kind of... I missed the ability to lean over corners. It could be useful from time to time. What's an EMP converter? Oh, okay, that's definitely useful. Oh, damn it. I haven't... I'm stupid. I haven't read that I can only have two, and I installed a freaking silencer and a freaking glass destabilizer into my weapon at first try, without waiting for something better, like this, or this, or pretty much freaking everything. Oh well. Maybe I'll find another copy of this weapon and I'll switch or something. But actually, let's try it on the guard here.
Yeah, want a piece of me? Come on! Some kind of poison! Oh,
damn it.
Damn! No! Must be hiding.
Wasn't sure if the toxin was still working. Okay, he's not dead, at the very least. Although I, on the other hand, got rather badly hurt. And it seems this place is pretty pointless overall. Oh, there's a medkit. At the very least I can appreciate that. I don't need the SMG because going in non-lethally, I doubt I'm going to have much use out of it. So it seems I need to go down there. Okay, that's... Oh, that went remarkably poorly, all things considered. So let's test the theory. If I'm right, then it should crash this time, because it's the second loading I'm doing. It did indeed crash, so that might unfortunately support my theory that it only works once per every instance of the game, which is monumentally annoying. But despite that, I need to... definitely need to heal before trying to take on the bot. Let's save, and now I can... nearly out of ammo anyway, so not much use in trying to... That didn't work too well, but at least I'm alive, which I guess is something. Okay, I guess I'll drop the... Oh wait. Apparently I could hold multiple food items in one slot, but even then an EMP grenade is probably more useful than a freaking snack bar.
Templar fugitive appear to be having some sort of conference in the office overlooking the platform. Find out what this is all about.
Yeah, but I still need to eliminate the others. Okay, so apparently I do have ammo after all. I just...
I'm hurting pretty bad. Turn it into a real fight. Some kind of poison.
Oh damn it, my keyboard broke in the most inopportune time, which if I'm counting it correctly, it means I'm screwed because the next load will be a crash. So maybe I'll just preemptively exit the game and it's going to be quick. Be right back. Okay, let's try again. Now, I was under the impression that the bar was all that represented my ammo supply, but apparently the like the small icons on the left there are like magazines. So, and regarding my keyboard, it's actually pretty broken because some of the keys fall off, and one of them is a W, so responsible for moving forward, and it fell off in the middle of the fight, so that was a little inconvenient for me.
Poison! A poison! Get in this! Come on! So, that's how... Do something, yo! Turn it into a real fight! No!
Looks like bad news.
Okay. That also wasn't too smooth, but I guess it was better than nothing. Now, I think I do want to... Damn it, Because, to be honest, those two mods are kind of useless, so I think I'm just going to drop this and change it for the other one. And the EMP blast is definitely something that can be useful because there are already a lot of bots going around, and the other, because I have two spots, so the other, maybe I could go for additional ammo or additional damage, but this is potentially quite useful, so... Okay, let's save. Now, how do I get out of here? Because I know that last time I had a problem with that. But I also...
damage. Finished. Initiating repairs. Functionality restored.
I think it was this way?
No toxin! A small price for the sake of purity. You'll do. I've still got some fight in me. Poison. I've still got some fight in me. Circle the enemy! By sight!
I could have been...
No!
Okay. It's one of them. And I think I'll actually backtrack a little to the repair bot while I'm still pretty close. Because it's just too good of an opportunity.
Repairing damage. Repairs complete.
Actually, I haven't checked. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever broken crates before, which is really something you want to do in games generally, because obviously there's often useful stuff inside them. Okay, I think the captain and the Templar guy are here, but I'm not sure if they're going to be hostile.
Her Holiness can burn in hell. Human purity used to be her motto. Now she waters it down for Enclave types who don't belong in the church to begin with.
Let go of the church. You are a Templar paladin now.
I'm grateful for your forbearance after I failed to kill the test subjects and Dr. Nassif.
What you discovered could be more important. We now know that we face a network of scientists called Apostle Corps. It's hard to believe that they have agents inside the weapons lab.
Probably sleepers. Your mag-rail contract is secure.
Still, I'm worried. We need to uproot this Apostle Corps before they compromise our modernization. I heard that the Grand Master will be ready to act within 2 months, but our army will need to be a match for all other armies combined.
Okay, so I'm still not sure if I will be able to talk with them, but apparently I've just learned that the guy was working with the Order, I mean the Templars, the entire time, and he was actually trying to kill all the people at Tarsus. And also, I've learned something I was wondering about, what this purity slogan is all about. So apparently it's a slogan of the Order, at least according to this guy. So, do you want to talk?
Hey, how did you get in here?
Has Hyoger Chen met your new friend?
I answer only to the Grand Master now, and I think I see in your eyes, yes, telltale signs of biomodification.
So?
So I've sworn an oath to exterminate defilers of the race.
Stand ready.
Come on, let's show them what
That's pretty extreme stance.
I wish it would not.
Okay, that's... It was really strong. I mean, his weapon. So, let's try loading. I always dread it now. Oh, look at that. It worked this time.
Hey, how did you get in here?
As High Augur Chen met you...
I answer only to the Grand Master.
So?
So I've sworn an oath to exterminate defilers of the race.
You can't sneak up on
For
us.
Her Holiness. Everything's going black.
Poison.
Okay.
I feel dizzy. It'll take more than
That should be enough to down this one guy.
He's trying to be sneaky now. Idiot. Neurotoxin.
I'm ready.
I will not succumb to you.
Flamethrower. Not really useful for a non-lethal playthrough. Shotgun also not useful. Data cube now. Okay, so starting to sort of link all of the people and organizations that we've heard before, because the Mako contract for the Magrail is something that the Minister of Culture is invested in along with Nassif, and there goes also now the Templars added to the mix, the Order. It's all sort of intertwined.
Good work. That gives us a good starting point for unraveling the conspiracy. Please return to the church for your next assignment. I would like to know what Mako Ballistics has to do with the Templars, and with your own Dr. Nassif.
Okay, it's actually kind of inconvenient to me, because to get back to the church I need to backtrack, and I wanted to get back to Upper Seattle. You'd think they could just, you know, tell me over the intercom or something, but maybe not. Okay, this just straight up kills me, so... I need to go down here. Okay, so let's try it. Of course, it crashed again. I changed the compatibility settings, but with the newer ones, it didn't even launch the game. So I guess launching the game and then crashing every time I load is indeed kind of a marked improvement over not launching the game at all.
Careful walking around here at night.
Lived here my whole life. I know this town better than any.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Okay, let's see if this is going to work. To be honest, at this point, I kind of start to think if maybe it's going to be more efficient and easier to just exit the game every time I want to change maps, but that is also kind of inconvenient, as you can probably clearly tell. So
a seeker must always be patient.
This is our haven from the madness and greed the WTO tries to spread.
Welcome, my friend. Ah, you seek solace from your everyday troubles.
So, some of your people have been recruited by the Templars.
Yes, and one of our best captains, too. The Templars appear to be assembling an army of mercenaries, and maybe those stories about Parisian gold are true. They seem to have very deep pockets.
What's the connection to Mako?
Those scientists at Tarsus Academy are part of an obscure group called Apostle Corps. They have a sale at Mako, which would concern the Templars because Mako is their main supplier of weapons.
Maybe that's where Dr. Nassif is hiding out.
Exactly. Your underlying mission will be to locate her. If perfected, the biomod architecture she gave you, being adaptable to any host, could bring biomodification to everyone and unbalance the very concept of the human being. But we have an additional favor to ask.
Go on.
The Templars have commissioned a new grade of firearm from Mako, the mag rail. The Order very much opposes the creation of any new weapons. Your other objective will be to locate the scientist in charge and kill him.
Won't Mako just hand the project to another scientist?
An assassination will send a message and cost the firm money. We want you to hire a pilot in Lower Seattle and get moving as soon as possible.
You can't get me a ride?
The Order is spiritually rich, but that doesn't buy many private jets. Go to the Greasel Pit Bar. You shouldn't have any trouble finding a pilot there.
Actually, there are two pilots. One that is indeed at the Greasel Pit, that has his jet, what's the word, under lock by the local mob, and the other is being held prisoner by the WTO, and she says that if I let her free, then she's going to fly me for free, so that's obviously kind of useful. And it seems that also answers one of my questions, because I was wondering if this is an optional thing, something like a fast travel system, or is it part of the quest? So it seems it's the latter. I need the pilot to go to another location, so so there's that. Now, regarding what she was talking about, it's kind of like, I'm not really convinced totally by most of what she was saying. Like, okay, I can kind of agree, maybe not agree, but understand and kind of partially agree with the mindset that they don't want any new destructive weapons created. Because in general, I think, as far as self-defense goes, a handgun is probably enough, and anything more is just, basically only useful if you intend to kill people, and that's never a good thing. So okay, I can get that, but then assassinating the scientist is kind of dubious to me, because one, you're still murdering somebody, so if you're protesting creating new weapons with which to kill people by killing people yourselves, it's kind of hypocritical to me. Not to mention, somebody might get the wrong idea. And the other thing, I think a scientist at the head of the project might not necessarily be the right person to target. Like, maybe he's just doing his job. Maybe he just does the research because it pays his bills. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily ideologically involved in what he's doing. So there's that. And also, she was talking about how the Order is opposed to universal modification, but to me, like, provided you are going to have... Oh. Ah, okay. It just gives me info on the pilots.
You owe this search for true order, not only to yourself, but also to your fellow humans.
I'm glad to see that you've accepted the Order's assignments. It looks like your next stop is Mako, north of town.
My alliances are my own concern, but yes, I'm heading to Mako next.
Be careful whom you trust. Only the Order can help you retain your individuality and find spiritual balance. All others are suspect.
Is the WTO really that bad? The enclaves are safe and prosperous. It seems like a solid foundation for the future.
The WTO, Tarsus, or any other corporate entity seeks only to exploit you. As far as Tarsus is concerned, we're experiments, not people. Just walking petri dishes. You know we're worth more than that.
I'll keep all of that in mind.
May Your Holiness watch over you.
Okay, now, whenever somebody says, we are the only ones you can trust, all others are suspect, that in itself is immediately suspect to me. Like, it seems pretty much like a straight up cult, which I guess it is, they don't even hide it. It makes me immediately distrust them. So I guess I'm heading to the WTO quarters anyway, so I might as well, hear their side of the story. But what I was about to say was, if biomodification exists, which it does in this universe, and it's quite widespread, then I would very much prefer for it to be available to everybody than just to the rich. Like, if anything, the selectiveness of the modification creates far greater imbalance in society than it would if it were widespread. So I don't quite align myself with that particular view of the Order. So I wonder what the WTO will have to say for themselves, and I guess I'll have to go and check. But to do that I need to face my greatest enemy, which is the freaking loading screen. I wouldn't even mind that much if it was like every 5 loading screens it crashes, but to me, for now, it literally seems that it's every other one, which really amounts to a lot of them if you really think about it, because the hubs are quite small and you need to change levels very often.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Let's check if there's maybe something new on the news.
Today marks the 1-year anniversary of the refinery riots.
Already listened to that.
The trader handles business. I'm here to prevent unfair transactions.
And I do need to, not need to, but kind of want to do the mission for the Omar, so that will also require me to go to the club.
Careful walking around here at night.
Okay, it's been literally only like a minute between the last loading screen and this one, and still it crashed, so that's more than a little tiresome. I hope there are no more hostiles here. Again, it has only been like a minute, and the only thing I've done was traverse a bit of ground. So here's to hoping. To be honest, as I said, at this point, it could probably be quicker and easier to just restart the game before every loading screen, because the thing is, it doesn't really crash to that desktop. It just crashes and there's a black screen, and it doesn't exit on its own. I have to open the task manager and close it manually and then restart it. So seriously, like, it would probably be quicker if I just exited it on my own every time.
New file opened. Your actions will be recorded.
Okay, now.
Processing.
I assume.
If you're half the operative Leo is, you'll go for it.
Just checking up on my investment.
I just wanted to check if I could tell him that I...
Citizens, we have... I don't think I know you.
That I disagree with his offer to destroy the other guy's beams, but apparently I can't. Now, if I were to go to the WTO, then I guess the metro station is the destination, but before I do that, I think I want to do this mission for the Omar. That's not here. I need to go to the Vox Club.
Seek a higher path. Seek order. Join us for worship at the Hartford Turbine Factory in Lower Seattle.
Yeah, let me review my objectives. So, I definitely want to do that because, as I said, I want to at the very least give them a chance to explain themselves. And I probably want to free the pilot, unless I learn that she's like a really bad person, like a terrorist or a serial killer or something. Yeah, I need to do that, which is sort of compounded in that other objective. I could do that as well, but I am uneasy with the idea of killing this woman just because it was said once that she's some kind of a crime boss. I'm not sure how much of a truth that is. I'm also very much against doing that because the guy hasn't done anything against me, and I don't know why should I kill him apart from the money. But as I already mentioned, money isn't really the best reason to kill somebody. This is sort of similar to the previous one because it's just the counter offer from the lawyer, and again I have no idea why would I kill the Omar trader. And also it might disrupt my dealings with the Omar, who seem like an important faction, so it could potentially be dangerous. Not doing that. I might do that. Like, hacking government databases is obviously kind of a crime, but if I... let me put it this way. If I were to do only things that are legal in this game, I don't think I would have ever be able to complete it. So, and out of the 2 quests involved with the coffee shop owners, I think this one is more upstanding. Like, he only wants to open a new business, and they are blocking him for reasons, probably because they are more like they are prejudiced against him because he's from the lower Seattle, or they are paid by his competitor, who's obviously doing a little better. And this I already mentioned. I don't think I'm doing that. That seems overly mean and cruel to kill somebody's animal. Although, I guess I'm not sure if the fights of the Greasels are supposed to be to the death. Like, it very much seemed so from the animation, but it might have been just a simplification. Maybe they just knock each other unconscious or something. Or, they fight for a while and until first blood or something. But in any case, this doesn't really seem like a thing I would be doing, especially because I don't have a particularly good reason for it. Apart from the money, it's not like the guy said, oh, it's dangerous and the owner is letting it kill people outside the matches or something. I do want to do that because it doesn't seem too harmful, and being friends with the owner might be a good idea. So that's why I'm here, actually. This is weird to me. Maybe I end up doing that. And this already mentioned. Now, I'm definitely not in love with... Excuse me. I'm definitely not in love with the way the journal works here. Like, I would very much prefer to have a list and to be able to click on the different objectives rather than scroll through all of them. But I think this is actually a good enough place to end this episode, especially because I have a little enough of this game for the time being. Like really, I think I need a break from the crashes, because I can guarantee you that it's going to crash when I load that zone, so I might as well quit the game and and come back some other time. So let me save, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.